Aberdeen last week at Pittodrie, and that one enforced by the suspension of Jim Tolmie, the man who did so much to make the winning goal last week. And his replacement at number 10 is John McNeil. There he is, and he has unhappy memories of his last cup tie against Aberdeen in December 1979, the League Cup semi-final, when he was very badly injured and was out of football for several months thereafter. And Aberdeen show several changes, the most notable being the absence of Doug Rugby and Ian Scanlon from last week's side, but they've got back Stuart Kennedy and Willie Miller after a 5-week absence. There's the Aberdeen skipper, Willie Miller, perhaps the most significant change in the Aberdeen side, out for 4 matches through suspension, during which time Aberdeen have lost twice. And the interested spectators in the Morton director's box, the Arsenal manager and coach Terry Neal and Don Howe, who are of course out of the FA Cup. And the referee this afternoon is Mr. Hugh Alexander of Irvine. So Aberdeen have lost the toss, they will kick off. A substantial crowd inside Cappielow this afternoon, a great atmosphere, and the Greenock supporters very optimistic about their team's chances, and with very good cause. There's Mark McGee involved in the action right away, taking up a position on the left side of the Aberdeen attack. The first free kick of the match, Considine coming in hard behind Ritchie. There's the Aberdeen fullback. So Nealor with the free kick for Morton. Headed away by Considine. That's Watson's clearance. Now Walker McCall. Beaten by Rooney. Jim Holmes. Mars flighted ball forward. Thompson back to Holmes. That's McNeil making the run. Miller off to block his path. And the referee says that was a goal kick. Considine's clearance. Harrow manages to turn Holmes. There's Angus, he's got McGee on the outside. Headed away by Orr. Angus has Kennedy wide on the right. Still Stuart Kennedy. That's a fine cross and kicked out by Baines. Well, Roy Baines, very much a hero last week at Pittodrie. Just putting it out. Benny Rooney onto the dugout, roaring some advice onto the pitch. McGee needs some support. There's no one backing him up. Hayes playing it forward. Bell being forced to do it all alone. Now forward from Marr. Here's Ritchie. Still Andy Ritchie. Look at the control. That is a marvellous goal from Andy Ritchie. 20 minutes on the clock and Morton supporters come alive. A goal which epitomises the control, the arrogance, the cheek of Andy Ritchie. Look at the control, he takes that driven pass. He made some room for a shot. Resisted the temptation to make the angle even better. Held on with the Aberdeen defence, scrambling to cover the goal. And eventually found that gap at Jim Leighton's right hand to top up the ball home. So 20 minutes on the clock. A goal to savour from Andy Ritchie, his 10th of the season. And a contented look at his face. Well, you might expect. And Morton coming forward again. So Cappielow still buzzing with the appreciation of that Magnificent goal from Ritchie, and Aberdeen now facing a long fight ahead. Here's Kennedy making a long run from deep. There's Andy Ritchie, Andy Harrow at the far post. Now that ball was just about 6 inches too high for Harrow. He had found space on the line side of the Morton defence, but the height of the cross just too much to enable him to get the full power and direction into the header. Laughlin forced to play the long one by the absence of mid-players short. And McCall looking for Bell. Suggestion of handball there, but the throw to Aberdeen. Harrow. Well, Joe McLaughlin will be spoken to by the referee. No doubt for persistent fouling. He's had a series of free kicks against him in the last 10 minutes or so. Kennedy with the free kick for Aberdeen. McLeish is in the box. There he is. It falls to Harrow. A great save from Roy Baines, and Harrow just can't believe it. Well, look at that one again. The free kick from Kennedy found the head of Alec McLeish. The header down. A tremendous left foot volley from Harrow. It seemed to be going straight into that corner, and look at the save from Baines. McLeish, very commanding in the air. Here's Bell. He hasn't got much to play forward to, so he has to go back to Considine. McLeish looking for McCall, played out by Holmes. Once again McCall is becoming more involved in the match since he's gone deeper. Oh, McGee is under that, and it's well won by Rooney. Angus driving it in, chance for Watson, and for McGee. Well, Roy Baines must have been wondering what was happening ahead of him. A high cross in the first instance to McGee. The ball eventually coming wide to Angus, a great driven ball into the 6-yard box, half cleared. Watson shot deflected by McGee. Busby to his striking partner McNeil, just behind Rooney, but there's Ritchie. Great early pass. Alec McLeish. Ball is under pressure, there's McGee. Still McGee. Well, that's desperate defending by Roy Baines for Morton after the initial error from Neil Orr. McGee was hustling Orr for the long through ball. Orr tried to play the pass back, it wasn't strong enough. McGee at full stretch, just getting out of the grasp of Baines. Ensuing scramble for the ball, eventually cleared up by Morton. But Mark McGee's protests that the challenge on him was unfair, resulting in a booking. Well, McGee sorely aggrieved. He obviously felt he was held down and unfairly prevented from knocking that ball over the line for the equaliser. Well, what an end to the first half. Just a couple of minutes left. A let off for Morton. Angus with the corner kick. There's McLeish. McCall trying to get on the end of that. McLeish from the ground, scooping it over the top. Well, there's no doubting the great determination of Aberdeen to retrieve this situation. McLeish causing initial damage. McCall trying to get in the header, and then McLeish from the deck, putting the ball over the top. Thompson being hustled by Bell, resisting the challenge well to find Ritchie. There's Hayes going on the overlap. Difficult ball for Leighton. And that's Leighton again. Just out of the reach of Drew Busby. A misunderstanding between McLeish and Leighton, almost giving Morton a chance, but there goes the half-time whistle. A truly tremendous first half, dominated initially by Morton with Aberdeen coming back, but punctuated by that piece of